Jose Mourinho has been sacked for the second time by Chelsea Football Club. Roman Abramovich has wielded the axe just 6 months after the special one lifted the Premier League crown. We'll be looking back at what went wrong for Mourinho at Chelsea. We'll also be looking ahead to potential options in the future. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Mr. Controversial, the show bringing a whole new meaning to the word opinion, and this very special episode regarding Jose Mourinho, the special one, getting sacked for a second time as Chelsea manager. Roman Abramovich, he's had enough. He said no, enough is enough. I haven't seen enough there to suggest that things are going to change anytime soon. We need to change the direction, and it looks like Gus Hiddink could be the man that will take charge of Chelsea for the remainder of the season. The club will have been just 1 point above the relegation zone after Monday night's 2-1 defeat at Leicester City. I think the writing was very much on the wall for Mourinho following the 1-0 home defeat to AFC Bournemouth last Saturday week. I think regardless of what Mourinho had done after that, I think movements had already been afoot to replace the Portuguese, and I think the only reason he wasn't sacked sooner was a real lack of options out there. And despite the fact that there is still a major lack of managerial options, you'd think next summer there will be a host of names available for Chelsea Football Club. Hence, Hiddink just been appointed until the end of the season on an interim basis. But we look back at what went wrong for Mourinho in his second spell as Chelsea manager. It all started pretty bright in 2013-14 when he took over the reins again, having left the job at Real Madrid, and a solid start to his managerial role, finishing third behind a rampant Liverpool and a very worthy title-winning Manchester City team. It was a good start, good foundation, and they built on that, and they never looked like not winning the Premier League title last year. They were the most professional. In the first half of the season, they were without doubt the most entertaining team. The addition of Diego Costa and Cesc Fabregas worked so well. It was absolutely a joy to watch, even for neutral fans, well, some neutral fans anyway. But the second half of the season, it kind of dried up a bit. Chelsea started playing a lot more cautious, a lot more negative, and they were accused of parking the bus. And this season, the bus was just absolutely just ran out of petrol, and it was blown up. No team feared Chelsea this season. It was one of the most spectacular turnarounds in the space of a few months, from formidable title-winning Chelsea, a team that didn't look like they were going to be beaten. There was talk of them being invincible last season, and this year they're lucky to get a win. But to be fair to Mourinho, a manager can only do so much, and the players let him down big time this season. The guys that stood up last year, Fabregas, Hazard, Oscar, Diego Costa, Nemanja Matic, they've all been so below par this season. It's like as if he's lost the entire dressing room, and for a man that is so highly respected in the footballing world, and for a man who had guided these players for the last 2 seasons and built them up to be the title-winning team that they were, it's absolutely startling. Like, what could he have done that would alienate so many players and so many big names? And I think it all really stems back to that Eva Carneiro incident at the start of the season, and I think a lot of people underestimate the power of that and how close players are to physio. I mean, they're not just staff members, they're friends, they're people you're working with on a daily basis. And when you see someone like that disrespected and humiliated in public, it kind of resonates with you, and you kind of maybe lose a bit of respect for the man who's done it. And I think it surprised everyone, but I don't think that can be used as an outright excuse for Chelsea's form this season. Even if you don't respect the manager, you've got to respect yourself as a player, as a professional. You're getting paid enough money. There's fans there paying huge money, especially at Chelsea, which is a London-based team, to travel to matches and stay over in hotels, B&Bs, whatever it is. They pay season ticket prices, and to disrespect the fans by saying, I don't respect the manager, so I'm not going to perform for him. Perform for yourself. You're a professional footballer. I mean, have some pride in yourself. I mean, Eden Hazard was labelled better than Ronaldo by Mourinho last season, which was laughable even then when the Belgian was in absolutely scintillating form. But this year, he hasn't scored a goal since last season. He's looked a shadow of the player. It's been absolutely spectacular, his downfall. Diego Costa has just been more interested in fighting with every opposition defender he's come up against. Cesc Fabregas, he hasn't played a game since last December. Really, his downfall started last January. He just stopped playing, and it's just like I said at the start, it's one of the most bewildering title defences I've ever seen. I mean, I'm a Man United fan. I watched David Moyes turn Manchester United from a title winners by 11 points to also ran just a disgrace. But that was understandable. That job was just too big for Moyes. That team, you could argue that it was on the way down when Ferguson left. There was some excuses there, but what has happened at Chelsea is it's completely inexcusable, and it's at this stage now it is irreparable, and it's all about pride for Chelsea. Can they still get Champions League? There's 22 games left in the league campaign. Realistically, Chelsea will be looking to win 17, 18 of those games if they want to get Champions League football. There's so many teams above them. The way this Premier League season is going, with the so-called lower teams taking points off the big boys, you couldn't see them getting top four, and it's all about financially. Can they withstand missing out on the Champions League for a season? They missed out on the top four in the 2011-12 season, but they went on to win the Champions League, so they got a bit lucky in that sense. But Mourinho leaves Chelsea with the best points per game ratio of any Premier League manager in Premier League history. I mean, in 212 games, he's won 140, losing just 28 times. He has a win percentage of 66%, and he averages 2.19 points a game. He's even got a better record than Sir Alex Ferguson. I know he hasn't been in the league as long as Fergie, but even so, it's an absolutely phenomenal record. And in 212 games, to lose just 28 times, it's astonishing. And a lot of that was down to their home form. Before this season, it was an absolute fortress, Stamford Bridge. Mourinho had never been met there in the league until Sunderland arrived last season, fighting for their lives and won. But Mourinho have no shortage of offers. Despite the way this season has gone, he's still one of the most respected managers in the game. He still divides opinion more than any other manager or any other football personality. But love or hate him, he is a good character. He's great to have. People love to have him in the Premier League, and you'd hate to see the Premier League lose him, but I've got a feeling that the Premier League won't lose him. I think that there will definitely be moves afoot at Old Trafford to look at the possibility of Mourinho. Maybe not now, probably more than likely not now. I can see Man United standing by Van Gaal until the end of the season. Well, I could definitely see moves afoot to tie Mourinho down for a summer arrival at Old Trafford. There's been a lot of news this week with regards to Pep Guardiola not signing a new contract at Bayern. He looks set to move to England. Manchester City look like the favourites to get him. Carlo Ancelotti going to Bayern Munich. So, realistically, if Man United sacked Van Gaal, whether it be now, whether it be at the end of the season, Mourinho looks like a very strong possibility, because there ain't a lot of options out there for Mourinho at the moment. You couldn't see him going back to Madrid if they sacked Benitez. I think he'd want to stay in England. He still has a point to prove over here, and there's no doubt it's a job that Mourinho has wanted for years. He has a fantastic relationship with Sir Alex Ferguson, who's on the board at Manchester United. So, if I was a betting man, I would definitely be getting on that 3-1 now with Sky Bet. Mourinho is 3-1 favourite to be the next Manchester United manager. It's definitely worth a punt, and another punt that's definitely worth taking is the next permanent manager of Chelsea, Diego Simeone, 20-1. All signs at the moment, all noise is coming out of Stamford Bridge that he's their number one target. Pep Guardiola will be sounded out, but it looks like he has his heart set on a move to Manchester City at this moment in time. The money being shown at him is just too much to turn down, according to reports. But the special one, not so special today. He's been sacked. It's a tarnish on his record. A second time to be sacked. Just last year he was talking about being here at Stamford Bridge for 10 years, building team after team, modelling himself on Sir Alex Ferguson, but ultimately it hasn't turned out that way. He's bitten the bullet again, and it's a strange story, really. The club with the fans who absolutely idolise Mourinho, but when you look back at both his times combined, he's only been in charge of Chelsea for 5 years, and that's not a long time, for a manager that's so revered at the London Giants. But that's the big news today. Jose Mourinho has been sacked. I wasn't scheduled to put up a Mr. Controversial episode this week because of different reasons. I was going to wait until next week, but because it is big news, I said I have to have a say and I have to put up an episode, a quick episode. But There will be a special episode of Mr. Controversial next week for Christmas, so stay tuned for that. But I'm going to cut this episode short now. Please hit the like button, please hit the share, and please subscribe as always. Thanks very much for watching.